Okay, paper, pencil, ruler, just like we've done before. All right, what I want you to do is go ahead and measure. Since we have our ruler here, we can see that our paper, as we've mentioned before, is 11.5 inches, or 11 inches long. What we're going to do is we're going to cut that in half and put a mark at the 5.5 inches. Excuse me. Half of 11 is 5.5. There we go. All right, and then what we're going to do is we are going to put a mark vertically at 4.25. All right, and where those two lines come together, that is the dead center of our piece of paper. All right, so what we're going to do is from here we're going to measure 5.5, and then we're going to measure 5.5 out here so that we have another line to go by, and then 5.5 out here. All right, so that way when we make our line straight across, okay, we can make all three of these dots line up, and we can put that line straight across just like so. All right, I'm going to do the same thing with the vertical side. Okay, in this case we're going to have to put it this way. Take that back. We're going to go here. So 4.25. There we are. From the middle, or from the side is the middle, right? So 4.25 over here. Okay. And now we can line up all three of those dots, hopefully. Somewhere close. Should be something about like that. And we're going to make a line that goes right down the middle as well. All right, here's where it comes in the ruler with the millimeters and centimeters. Hopefully you have one. It's just a little easier and less complicated. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure out 10 centimeters and put a mark at each one of those. 10 centimeters is about as far out as you can get on the shorter side, as you can see there. All right. Again, stop if you need to. All right, don't feel like you have to keep up with me. I'm probably talking too fast, and that's okay. All right, so that way you can pause, come back to it, okay, and get it caught up. All right. So what I've done is I've put a mark at 10 inches or 10 centimeters, excuse me, okay, at each of those there. Now what I want you to do, okay, is we are going to measure this, and it should come out to be about 14. Okay, about 14 centimeters from that point to that point. Then what we're going to do is at about 4 centimeters and 7 millimeters, I'm going to put a mark right there. All right, I'm going to measure that again. Okay, 4 and 7. All right, what this is going to do is this is going to divide this quadrant, okay, into thirds approximately. All right, if it's not exactly thirds, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so when we measure this one, it should be about the same, 4.7. I can use that mark and line it up there and go 4.7, or 4 centimeters, 7 millimeters. All right, and then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. Okay, again, it works out to be 14 just about. If it's not exactly 14, don't worry, it's not the end of the world. Just get it close. All right, we're not looking for exact precision. All right, and then we're going to do this for all 4 quadrants here. And there we go. 4 and 7 millimeters approximately. 4 and 7. Okay, and so there we go. Now, if you'll notice, we've got all these little dots here, okay, that are angled around like so. All right, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go with the opposite ones. So I'm going to try and line these up here. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on the 15 just because it's easier to remember. All right, and I'm going to measure out 10 centimeters. All right, so that's 15 minus 10 is going to be 5. So I'll go out to the 5 centimeter mark. And then going downward, 15 plus 10 is 25 centimeters. I'm going to stop there. All right. And then I'm going to go to the next one over, and I'm going to do the same thing, so that now we should have, make that nice and lined up, 10 centimeter lines coming off of each of our little dots that we have here. All right. And as you can see, this should start looking kind of like that color wheel that we mentioned, or that you saw in the video there. All right. So from 15, we go out to 5, and this way we go to 25. And then one last time, line these up so it's nice and straight. Put that on the 15, to 25, and 5. All right. So, we starting to look like a color wheel yet? Yeah, kind of. All right. Now what I want you to do is go ahead and connect all of these outer edges. Okay, so these ends of the dots on the longer perpendicular ones, the first ones that we did, it's going to line up with those marks. And yeah, some of these triangles that we're creating are going to be a little bit bigger. I'm not too worried about it. It's not that big a deal. If you can get it close, that's great. Just as long as there aren't any big discrepancies, you know, really big differences. Okay, like so. So you see how this is kind of starting to look like a spider web? That's why I call it a color web instead of a color wheel when I came up with this idea. All right, here we go. All right, and we've got that all around. So now we've got kind of our color wheel design.